that we're talking about now has been integral part of the national education policy. Therefore, it is now being taught, discussed, deliberated, and debated across the country and even in the world. So, multidisciplinary approach is basically an approach where multiple disciplines are integrated to take up a concept in the classroom across grades. It can be across grades from preschool to grade 12 and of course in higher education as well. So it's primarily interconnectedness of various disciplines coming together to make a concept more approachable, more beneficial, more application based to the learners. So, multidisciplinary approach has to be an integral part of the curriculum and an essential part of the pedagogy as well. Because if you're able to combine subjects, which we are already doing, but we're doing it with more consciousness and more awareness as a teacher facilitator, it shall definitely benefit the biggest beneficiary, and that's the learner. Because it will not only help them to become critical thinkers, because if you are learning a specific concept, for example, say, as I said, air or water in sciences, how do we connect it with languages? If you're teaching water as a concept, you can use it in Hindi or in English, in languages as a poem, right? We can ask the children to write a self-composed poem. How do we connect it with social sciences? We connect it with social sciences where they talk about underwater world, they talk about water pollution, they can also talk about sustainability, how do we protect and preserve our water bodies, right? There can be a role play, there can be entire an assembly presentation on this. Also, it can be made multidisciplinary by including elements of numeracy when they're talking about the measurement of water, whether it is in liters, right? We talk about density of water, we talk about characteristics of water, how it can be enrolled with like gallons of water. When we talk about measurements, that can also be included with numeracy, right? So science, numeracy, social sciences, languages, art, poster making, awareness campaigns. So what are we doing here? So one child is not only just studying about water from science perspective, but is also trying to correlate it with various other applications and different subjects. And what will it benefit? It will benefit the learner because the learning will be more permanent in nature, right? And it will help the child to become problem solvers. When we talk about multidisciplinary approach, we are also looking at it from a project-based learning approach, right? So if you are schools which are progressive in nature, do not teach one subject in isolation, right? So it has to be thematic. Multidisciplinary approach has to be consciously, if you are integrating it or making it a part of your curriculum, then the school has to work towards making more project-oriented learning and teaching, right? All international boards are doing that. So is CBSE promoting, and as per our NEP, we have all schools are suggested that we do go for areas wherein one topic or a theme is taken up and multiple subjects are designed around it. So when we're talking about project-based learning, we are imbibing critical thinking because the learner has to, for example, gather certain information. Let's take up a topic of say demand and supply in economics for grade 11, right? Now demand and supply is a topic of economics, but does it not impact the economy? Does it not impact the businesses? Does it not impact an entrepreneur who is a producer? So from a business perspective, demand and supply is impacting the accounts also, right? So all commerce subjects can be integrated when you're teaching demand and supply, right? We can integrate it with mathematics, right? When we're teaching demand and supply of a product, kitna produce karna hai, how much do you need to produce, what is the market rating going on? So we are deciding on the pricing, we are deciding on the costing, which is maths and numeracy, right? If we are making an advertisement based on demand and supply, what are we doing? We are bringing in languages and creativity, isn't it? So what are the children doing? They are developing artistic skills, which is critical thinking. They're also surveying, which is collecting of information and presenting that information in a meaningful way, which will help them to take their project forward. Right? So when you are doing multiple approach to a common subject or a topic, the child is definitely going to enhance his or her logical and critical. I will definitely be very honest that it is not a very easy journey. There will be challenges. However, as a school, if we have in our vision and mission, we want to create our learners and imbibe them with 21st century skills, multiple disciplinary approach is the whole thing. You have to imbibe it. So the first and the foremost thing is training your teachers. The teachers have to be trained to create projects, to write their lesson plans wherein they are mentioning the various aspects. So instead of starting with all subjects getting integrated, you can move one step at a time. So if you can take up maths, you can take maths with art, you can take maths with sport, you can take maths with life skills, and you can take maths with languages. So the first thing is to train your teachers. Number two, you have to do orientation of your parents. So you need to orient the parents, and this is how our pedagogy is, right? And number three is monitoring that yes, it is being done. So the curriculum has to be embedded with multidisciplinary approach, which should be integral part of the teaching learning lesson plan process. And of course, there has to be an improvement plan in place. There has to be constant mentoring, constant monitoring. So this is what it is, but it is a challenge because you are dealing with people, you're dealing with human resource, you're dealing with teachers who may not have that kind of an expertise or understanding or knowledge. So yes, and the second most important part is with children, because sometimes children get confused. If there are too many integration, they also get confused. So you have to break down your instructions, break down your structure, and make it more comfortable, make the children more comfortable, give them more wider choices. That not everybody is good with art, right? If I ask, okay, what we are doing water, so you have to make a poster on art, but I'm not good at drawing. So maybe I can be given the option, okay, you write a poem, or you write an article, or you speak about it. So you have to give multiple options and choices to the learners also, right? That's how it is. Billabong International School has been following multidisciplinary approach since almost now 10-12 years. So it is already embedded in our curriculum. Our teachers are provided adequate training when they are inducted, and we have subsequent trainings to keep honing their skills, because even ICT has to be integrated. Artificial intelligence has now come in. A lot of life skills have to be integrated. So there's a constant training process, and we have our the mentors are trained first, and they take it down to the teachers' levels. And as I said, during our orientations, we orient our parents about it because we need a lot of support from them. They also need to understand how it happens. And a lot of hand-holding with the children. We need to be very patient with the learners. We are an inclusive school. And again, we believe every learner is different. So all this happens when there is a whole lot of training, whole lot of acquiring knowledge from each other. That's how we are able to imbibe and implement multidisciplinary approach in our school.